They are taking our kids every day. A child a minute, no one has a thing to say for those who have been isolated. Don't be worried, you have a voice today. So listen up everyone, here is the story. Child Protective Services is real. CPS is what they call it. They want our kids because it fills a lot of people's wallet. We all think it won't be us. We say when they come we will be so tough. It all sounds good when there's no one to take them. But when they come, your voice gets to breaking. Stay calm, step away. CPS ain't taking no one today. We are educated. Stay calm, step away. CPS, you need to leave. I know the tricks up your sleeve. You can't do what you're trying to do. We've done our homework. Don't do a damn thing without a warrant. You no longer will steal our kids this way. Tiff and the Punisher have come for the calling. They are giving us the CPS warning. Their voice is loud and clear. We stop losing our kids this year. Tiff wants to fight the entire planet. She is tired of our kids being taken, god damn it. She's been fighting CPS for 30 years, bringing children home from this disgusting mess. The Punisher is screaming out loud, abolish CPS and tear it down. I want all our kids to come back. Look at all those kids' pictures held up like thin tags. Together we are stronger than we need. We will tear down CPS with high speed. We will do so much being together. Birds of a feather flock together. So watch out CPS, here we come. Picking you one by one. We promise to bring back the family and prosecute the caseworkers unhandily. So give us back the kids you have taken. Tiff and the Punisher sending you all on a vacation. The one with bars in the windows and the only games you play are on Nintendos. Corruption in courts, here we come. We won't stop until it's done. You judges need to learn what you stand for. This is Tiff and the Punisher warrior, and we cry out to all of you out there. We need support for a cause that many don't care. All children are being stolen way too often. So CPS, we plan on doing the stopping. Stop it.
Man, that's a good song.
I love that song. It's my
Man,
ringtone.
over and over and over and over. You know, I bet our guests tonight wish that they had a song like that.
Yeah.
Maybe they do have a song like that. Maybe we're just waiting. Maybe it'll be a gift.
Maybe.
Maybe. But we don't even know who the guest is. So what's up, Tiff?
Not much, just getting hot now and I'm getting irritable.
Oh boy, Tiff's getting irritable and hot. Kids didn't have daycare today, so they're all at home. It's 2,000 degrees out there, Virginia. Up here in Maine today, I'll tell you what, it was 89 degrees today up here. That's like roasting. You don't even see anybody outside up here when that happens.
Oh, everybody's outside here.
Oh man, there ain't a soul out there when it's this temperature. You know, I was just wondering, I was just looking at this flag. You see this? This is my Trump flag, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't it kind of resemble John Gotti?
He does.
Yeah. I was just looking at this. I'm like, holy, is that my John Gotti flag or is that the Trump flag? And it's the Trump flag, but it really does look like John Gotti.
Yeah.
Huh. You want to be careful with that, I guess.
Yeah, you better not put that one outside. You better hang it
Yeah, we
somewhere in
won't.
your house.
Yep. Well, we got some good stuff. Oh, what happened at the raid today, Doctor Death? We got a great guest here tonight. One of our favorites, anyway. Um, and I think we should just bring her out here.
Yep.
Yep. Hold on, I'm gonna put something on here. Let me just get there. Here we go. I gotta do this right at the right time. All right. Let's bring in Sylvia. Everybody, Sylvia Beachy. Ah, Sylvia, how are we?
I'm good. I
That's
love
good.
what you got going, and I need it so I can share it out.
Yes, yes, you do. You need a lot, but we will get you. We'll get you all. We'll get you all set up. By the end of this show, you will be loaded with things that you can share away.
Yeah.
Did you see some? Did you see my new cartoon that I did? Have you seen any of this? Have you watched what we
So,
did here?
oh, I haven't, but I saw when the show started, those little guys doing flips.
Oh yes, I know. Well, I figured it was. Oh wow, I figured. You know what? It was nice to like this subject sucks. Like we can't even get monetized on YouTube because they say that it's a controversial subject and all of this type of stuff. And so, you could make this as awful and evil as you wanted to, or you can always bring a little bit of light to people. Like it's funny. It's a little dancing cowboy guy, a little baby, like it's funny. It brings people a smile, like, and if that saves somebody today, like if they saw that little baby dancing around and that stops them from jumping off of a cliff or doing something stupid, then you know what? So be it. It did its job, because this subject sucks. It's not like this is fun. You know what I mean? So, like, if you can make little things, and that's what we try to do. Make them educational, or I try anyway. Make them educational, but make them so that they're like, watch this video. Check this one out.
I'm just your average parent trying to do right by my kids. Never thought I'd have to, deal with something like this. It was a regular Tuesday afternoon. The kids' toys were scattered everywhere. Then there was a knock at the door. My heart sank when I saw who it was.
Hello, I'm from Child Protective Services. We've received a report and need to inspect your home.
I didn't know what to do. They wanted to come in, look around, talk to my kids. My hands were shaking. I felt like I was doing something wrong even though I knew I wasn't. But then, I remembered something I'd read online about knowing your rights. I took a deep breath and said, "I'm sorry, but unless you have a warrant, I can't let you in." The CPS worker looked surprised. They weren't used to parents knowing their rights. It wasn't easy, but I stood my ground. I protected my family's privacy that day. Remember, when CPS knocks, know your rights. It can make all the difference.
Yeah, so doing little things like that, like
Yeah.
that's educational. You keep blurping out on us, Sylvia.
I'm blurping out.
Yeah, you were blurping on us.
Right.
So Dr. Death says that there was a human trafficking. It was one of the kids that called law enforcement here. I don't know where they are, but is there elaborate on that a little bit, Dr. Death? That's great. If they're shaking this human trafficking and he's down. It's freaking awesome.
Yep.
It really is. Are you seeing anything? What do you got going on with you guys? As far as that, do you guys have any playing any of this stuff? What do you guys got going on with your organization, Sylvia?
There's so much going on right now, and I tell you what, God is really working. People are coming out, advocates are coming out. Like, we're literally getting calls from people that are like, we've been researching human trafficking. We understand it's not what we've been taught. We want to be a part of it. Like, you can see that God is working. He's really working right now. And I do believe it's about to just bust open. Like, we're not afraid. We're not afraid of them anymore. And that's what they've been able to control. That's how they've had the control, is that people have been afraid. And, you know, caseworkers, I finally have a caseworker. I finally have an attorney that's come forward and, you know, like speaking out, telling what's really happening, and it's empowering others. So I'm actually very excited right now because, like, guys, get ready. Like, you are about to see it. I know you are feeling it too. Like, you can feel it, right?
The
Like,
buzz is here.
air, like, it's
Hmm.
different.
Hmm. Yeah, it's like there's a light, that there's hope. There's, I mean, you have like just here in our channel alone, we have Tiffany who's like going to run all the committees in Virginia. So she's in control of all of the welfare reform or whatever they're going to want to call this stuff. Like Tiffany's involved in all of that in Virginia. And then we have
Uh,
Danielle that she's on the grant committee for RFK's, child protective. Danielle, the one from Georgia, that's thinks you're amazing, and so on. But she's on with the RFK's with his crew, and she's working the grants for the child protective services end of things. So like we got real people doing real things to maybe make a difference and take control of what's been the problem. I mean, that's the biggest thing is erratic. They're spending money up the ass that they should be spending on the families, and finally there's people getting these positions that know where this money's supposed to go, and that's where they're going to put it.
yes. Yeah.
That's what I think.
So, too.
So, right, Tiff? That's what you plan on doing, right?
Oh, I plan on doing a lot of stuff. I'm having a rally this weekend, actually.
Yep.
And I don't know if you ever heard of them, parentalrights.org, the foundation.
No. Let me
I
write.
used to,
Okay.
yep.
Well, I got the president coming. He lives here in the same town as me, and their foundation is 25 minutes from me or 20 minutes from me. So I shot him an email and he'll be there. Um, the NAACP will be there. There's going to be
Nice.
a lot of people there.
Did you tell Sylvia? Did you tell Sylvia what the buzz was about that? What's going on there?
No.
MG. So me and Darren did a show last Thursday early in the morning because I had a meeting that night. No sooner I got off the phone, maybe an hour after I got off the phone, I was calling Darren back. Winchester CPS was telling parents they better not show up in my rallies or they're going to come and snatch their kids out of their homes.
Facts.
Wow.
100% facts.
I lost it.
Yep.
Wow.
I said, go live right now, Darren.
Yep. We
I
did too. We did.
see that. Good for you.
Yeah.
So,
We know what you can't. We got to push them back. But yeah, you would, Sylvia. You're only what? Well, I mean, you're a minute away from Tiff, but not too bad to drive up for the rally. You should, if you have time to swing up, you should.
yeah, we'll definitely have to talk about it because I need to see how far you are and what date it is because that's the one thing that I am going to be doing really soon is attending a lot of conferences, a lot of rallies, a lot of protests. There's a civil rights movement in Alabama. It's July 1st. I'm still trying to get more information on that, but this is really a civil rights issue that we're dealing with because they're literally taking children. I mean, Darren, you know firsthand, like
Mhm.
this is so wrong, so messed up. I'm so tired of parents calling me, just the pain, the hurt, like trying to figure out where their kid is, if their kid is okay, and it's just so wrong, so messed up, and we've got to stop it.
Yeah, we watched a video. We put a video on last night, and I was just
Part of
scrolling through. I
That's
was just
part of why
scrolling.
I'm doing these. We're going to be doing them every month. The only difference is because I'm not a hot person, and I'm not a cold person, and it's getting hot. So we're actually going to start doing them in person here and online.
Okay.
And um and my plan is to bring on people like you and the good citizen and all our other people because we want to start doing seminars. This one, we are teaching them the color of law form. We've typed up their rights. We've gotten the complaints for the judges and the lawyers. We put a whole packet together.
Oh, and then they got thrown away. They got thrown around too.
And then my grandson made it rain. Papers and purple folders all over my living room floor. Oh, I was so upset.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
But yeah, I would love to have you come.
Yeah, I would love to.
Even if you're there in the virtual, she should pop in with your face and get you guys some recognition. I mean, obviously she wants you there in person, but I think this is going to be the last one that I get a slip on. Darren's not going to be there in person. The first one
Yeah,
I
we
was
have
on my
food, drinks. Oh, we have it all.
Really? Oh, that's awesome. Yes.
I was planning on being at the last one, but I was slowed up. But I actually stopped in my travels home, and I stopped just to be in it with her. She did awesome. Tiffany was by herself that day, coming right off the cusp, coming right from her first rally. It's like virgin of rallies, and she came out and she, I thought she was gonna pass out. She kicked ass. I mean, she was awesome. Like, she got a rumble under the pier. Would you have like 75 people there or something, Tiff? 60, 75, something like that?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's going to be bigger this time because, I mean, we have people that I would never thought that would come out that are coming. I mean, we have the sheriffs coming.
Oh, nice.
We invited the FBI, CPS, the prosecutors. We invited everybody.
Yeah. We actually need some good sheriffs. So I'm hoping you got some good ones because
I got one.
That's awesome. That's what we need.
Well, you know who the big sheriff, the constitutional sheriff advocate is, right?
In Polk County, Florida?
No. You know who the best, the advocate himself that, is not a sheriff that advocates for the constitutional sheriffs.
That's gosh, his name just slipped my.
Our boy, Angry Citizen.
Oh, that's the Angry Citizen.
Dana. Yeah, Dana. Remember we were on the show with you?
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, like that's his number one thing is constitutional sheriffs, and that's what we're working on together with him because he's got a ton of knowledge in that department of what the sheriffs are supposed to be doing, and so Tiff and I are more Tiff and him. We're trying to coordinate with them so that they can, because between Tiff's constitution stuff and Dana's sheriff stuff, we have what we need to put these players in the places that they need to be and to educate people to what they're supposed to be. Because people don't understand that the sheriff is like the most powerful and most legit law enforcement person that we have. And, no one looks at it that way. No one understands what the power of the sheriff is. Not even the sheriffs themselves. They don't even understand what their true powers are, which is a damn shame because they are pretty much the most powerful person or one of the most powerful people in the state. And
they're higher than the judge and the prosecutor. They can run the FBI out of town. They can run anybody out of their jurisdiction.
Yeah, and they're on our side, or supposed to be.
Yeah, that's why they got them on their side. That's the problem. If we can get accountability, guys, that would be so awesome. Is that Danielle in the chat? I think I see Danielle in the chat.
She probably is in there. She was all excited about coming on tonight. I told her earlier we were talking. I was supposed to call her back. I'm sorry, Danielle. I didn't call you back. I'll tell you.
Be on Rescue the Fosters in a few weeks.
Yeah, she told me July 1st, she said, or something, right? Like July, I think that's what she said.
By that Wednesday.
Cool.
I don't have my right now, but I think it's July 3rd.
That's my birthday.
Hey?
Yeah.
Okay, well, happy birthday. We'll be sure to say happy birthday for you.
Well, I expect more than that. Maybe a cake.
For you.
Yes, that would be great. I would love it. What song are you going to sing?
It's happy birthday.
Oh, all right, okay. Mark Ludwig. I want it. You know what? This day and age, you can never be too sure. We have so Mark Ludwig's putting on a big hoorah too on the 29th from 2 to 8. It's going to be run on his Facebook, and then Brian.
His YouTube.
Yeah, Brian Lee is going to be running on his. I think it's NPIR, his old podcast station and everything. But he has, and it's online. It's free. You don't have to register. You don't have to nothing. Just show up, and he said that they got a ton of good information coming out of there. That's on the 29th. What else was there? There's a lot of things going on here, guys. There's a lot of things that are coming out. But for you guys, for you guys, Sylvia, what do you got new? What do you guys got coming out? What do you got? What are you guys working on?
Well, we're working on trying to save some children. You know, I've got a few cases. I have it out in California. It's so corrupt. I think I've posted it a few times. It's a single mom, Ruby. She's fighting for her 4 children. They're trying to adopt them out to a lesbian couple.
Oh my gosh.
3 of her kids, and then 1 is in a group home. So we're fighting right now. So please say a prayer. We've been really fighting them in California, Fresno County. So corrupt. And then
how old are them? How old are those kids?
Sorry?
How old are those kids?
They're young.
Just range, yeah. Just
like 9, and then she's got like 4 or 5.
Oh.
They're like right behind each other.
Right.
Like, I think her little girl's 7, then 6, then 5.
Oh.
Yes, they're like right, and she's got 4 of them.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So fighting that, and then Chris, his trial just happened, and Darren, that was just like a Twilight Zone. Like, the caseworker gets up on the trial, and I was expecting her to like talk about how Chris was rude, arrogant, how he just was non-compliant. Do you know she got up there and was like, Chris was great. He did everything I asked. For a year and a half. And she talks about how great Chris was for a year and a half. And how she did not even want to adopt his child out. And then after a year and a half, the department decided, they're going to adopt his child out. And she said there was no reason. He was compliant. He followed everything that she asked. And it was the moment that she said, we're going to adopt child out, that his attitude changed towards her. Like he was in the wrong. Like, can you believe this? Like, it's so backwards.
I do believe it, because I've lived it myself. Like, what do they expect? I question. It's not funny, but it's weird that you even say this, because when I was in my harassment, my order of protection against my caseworker, that suddenly after a year of being with me is scared of me, and all of this stuff, because they couldn't find out that they couldn't handle the fact that I wasn't beating my wife, so they had to come up with something else to make me look like the angry monster that I'm not. But I asked her when she was on the stand, I said, do they educate you guys when you go to college for this stuff? Like, you're educated, right? They give you these classes. I'm like, do they give you a class that tells you how to deal with emotions of parents? When you tell them, when you take their world right out from underneath them, and in this moment, this fast, you can turn a person that's completely friendly, nice, the sweetest person you've ever met in your life, and the second that you tell them that you're going to do something to them like that, well, I'll be damned if they don't change. And if you didn't expect that to happen, then you're just an idiot anyway. Right. Like, how can these people not expect you to be angry when you say, you know what, you are really an amazing person, but I'm still going to take your kid? What do you expect?
Hey.
And this goes on and on. You hear it time and time again. Again, it's that one word, or there's many words, but that one word of neglect, imminent danger, that's 2 words, but imminent, extingent circumstances, all of these words, which mean nothing, or they can mean a lot of things, that make no sense, that mean that nothing has necessarily even happened. It's up to you and your opinion. And these are what they're using to steal our kids. And it's just a terrible, terrible thing. So to expect that you're not going to be mad, because if you're any person with a brain, you know that an imminent danger situation is the house is going to blow up. Let's get the National Guard in here. Let's get an ambulance. Let's get a fire department, and let's get some planes. A helicopter to drop the ladder in to get the kids out. And we got to do this now. We don't have time for lunch. Put the sandwich down. Let's go. That's imminent danger. Not, I'll be back in 9 days to take your kid. So when you come back in 9 days to take your kid for imminent danger, how are you not going to be pissed? You're outside, you're playing in the pool with your child, having a great time. Here comes CPS rolling up, and now you're bullshitting. They're like, Jesus, he was really out of line when we came to take his kid as they were having a pool party for his birthday out in the yard and having fun with a piñata and all of this stuff. When they put that in the report, and everybody's like, oh, Jesus, what a terrible, doing that in front of the kids. Like, what do you know what? There's some things you just can't even control. Like that emotional flow of, holy shit, they're stealing my kid and there's nothing I can do about it. But, like, I will tell you firsthand, there's no stopper when that happens. Like, like cell phone flying up against the side of the house, like, do you want to take down the social worker? You're damn right you do. You want to take them down and you want to do things that you've never even thought of in your life. So there's got to be some sort of restraint. That enough right there that you don't act on a caseworker should be enough for them to thank you and be like, you know what, you really showed a lot of restraint, like when we told you that, and I didn't expect that to come from you. So thank you, and maybe we got this wrong. Like that's the way that they should be reacting to those situations. That's a real life situation that you're announcing that you're stealing someone's kid.
Like, and then they think, and that's when his attitude changed towards me. He said, that's when his attitude changed towards me. Are you freaking kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? That's like a kidnapper coming in and grabbing your kid. You know who the kidnapper is. You're not just going to let them take your kid.
Right.
And the crazy thing is the jury agreed with the caseworker. Okay, so what world are we living in? Because the only evidence that they had that he was harassing and stalking her was an email that he sent her saying, we're coming after you. And then he sent another one saying, with the law. But they would not allow that one into the court or the jury to see it. So he got 2 to 3 years in prison, and she adopted his child out. He said she violated the law. So she should be in prison, not him. Why isn't she in prison?
Well, one of the reasons I think they did that was because you have 24 months from the time your rights are terminated to go all the way up to the Supreme Court. So if you put somebody in jail, right? Nobody's going to hear you from jail. I mean, you can petition all you want, but the courts are going to be like, you were sentenced. No, we're not overturning anything. That's what happened.
Well, and he did file a lawsuit. He filed a lawsuit against every one of them, including the judge. And, Chris got on the stand and he called every one of them a trafficker.
Good for him.
I think I was texting you about that one, too. Because I was like, oh, my God, he just called him a trafficker. But,
good.
I mean, can you blame him? He's right. He's literally right. They literally trafficked his child. Or trafficking person,
Mm-hmm.
And he's sitting in prison. So he's got 2 to 3 years. He'll serve a year, I think. It's like a third. It's a third of the time. But he's in a maximum prison right now. He only gets out 2 hours a day out of his cell. Like, it's awful. It's so wrong. It's so messed up. It's so backwards. It's infuriating. And I don't know why she feels like she had the right to do that. And she has kids. She has kids. So it's like, what in your mind? Like,
we're seeing so much of this, though. Like, if you go, because Brenda, that's on our other show here, Bringing Back Brenda, her husband just got 15 years for taking a cartoon from Grand Theft Auto, altering it a little bit so that it kind of fit his situation or whatever. Not really calling out anything or saying any direct threats or anything like that, but he beat up. It made the cartoon image look like they beat up a judge, like on the side of the road. They said that was threatening that judge. That judge got up there and said that she had been scared for her life for the past, umpteen years that he had been out and all of this stuff, and that her kids, she brought her kids there, to be like, oh, well, finally, and they're like 8 and 9, they've been scared this whole time. Well, first of all, why the hell were you telling your kids? And if you're going to tell me that that's the only person that threatened this judge's life, you're out of your damn mind. Because how many murderers did this person convicted? That those people say, I'm going to kill you, Judge, or whatever. How many people do that? But 15 years, that's double the maximum sentence that he could have even received for a threat to a law figure like that. Like, that's just asinine. So they're trying to really put it at the people that are going at these people. But it's up to us now to get behind them and be like, no, you guys aren't doing this for naught. This isn't for naught. And that's been my biggest fear with a couple of the moves I wanted to make. Is like, if I take these moves, is there going to be people behind me to come through and alleviate the situation and bail me out, I guess you would say, like Chris needs, and they're both Chris, but like the Chris's need, to get them out of jail, they're not getting that flood, like they're devoting, like they're all to this cause, and we need to show them more support than what we are, and it's because we're all separate, we all float apart, and we all are doing our own little things, and that's fine and dandy, but they don't do anything. Like our little group of 15 here and 10 there and 100 over here isn't shit when they're looking at the mainstream thing of life. But if you have 1 million of us on a list, that's a different story. And that's just, even if we could just compile a list of 1 million of our names, maybe that's going to be my new thing. I want to get a list together of 1 million names of people that have been affected by Child Protective Services on a list that anybody that wants to go and start a Supreme Court case or whatever can use that list and be like, here you go, here's the signatures that we need for this. What do you think of that?
Yeah, and like that's really what it is. We've got to come together more. We've got to be more supportive. We've got to show these parents that we are behind them. That's right. Completely it. We've got to rise up because it is the people. We have to come together.
Right. We've got to have one sort of and this, I've said this forever. That was the whole idea about me building the abolishcps.com thing and all of that stuff, which we're still revamping that now because I just got it back. So again, we have abolishcps.com. That was quite a fight in itself, but at the end we won. So look for that soon. We'll have abolishcps.com back up and running. But that was the idea. We need at the minimum, let's just get a space that we can all, and I don't care where it is, doesn't have to be with me, doesn't have to be with you, whoever can do it the best, the fastest, and the most resourceful way, let's do that. I think that's a great idea. If we just compile a list of 1 million names that people have been affected by CPS that we always have, and anybody can use this list that needs it. Congressman to do a bill, whatever. Here's your 1 million signatures right here, your 1 million, whatever. Do you think that would be something that would be helpful to show our power?
There's actually a website. If you go to Judge's Wall of Shame, have you seen that?
Yeah, I have.
It's like 1 million. I think it says 1 million. There's been 1 million children that the judges have, or something like. I think it says 1 million. But basically, it's children that judges have put with the abuser, and there's a website. It's called. They have the judges. They have a part for the judges, for the attorneys, for the guardian ad litem. Because if you think about it, this is RICO. This is RICO. These people they know what they're doing. They have their players. It's the same people. If you look at, I'm getting calls from Cherokee County, Georgia. Okay, same people, same guardian ad litem, same judge, and same thing with Barrow County. So you have the players, and when you start getting these calls, all you need is a board And that is RICO because they know what they're doing. They're doing it on purpose. They know how to do it. They're falsifying documents. They're violating laws. The problem is that not held. That's the problem. And they need
Well,
to
Pam Bondi has put out a release that she's no longer protecting administrative law judges, and they believe in the states that it doesn't apply to them, but they would be wrong for violating constitutional and civil rights. And a couple weeks ago, she put out a statement and said they're no longer funding. I always say it wrong. CASA, whatever you want to call it. And the GALs, they're no longer getting funding. And her exact words were, and I quote, "You are not helping American children."
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
They lost all their funding.
I'm curious to see because they're still functioning.
Well, they have enough money. Now, they did a little thing here, because I'm close to DC. So they're like, oh, we have enough funding for the next year or two. But when that runs out, I don't know what we're going to do. You're going out of business. That's what you're going to do.
So do you think that's why they've gotten more aggressive? Because they have gotten more aggressive, and even like where they're more bold, like we got to take as many kids as we can right now before the funding runs out.
It might be. I'm surprised you didn't know about it. Yeah, Pam Bondi put it out.
But I was confused as to how they were still going. Like, how are they still? Because they haven't stopped.
No. Well, they only have in the Washington D.C. metro area. They did an interview on the news, and they said the GAL people said they only have enough funding. I think she said 18 to 24 months. I think that's what she said.
Okay, and that would make sense because I feel like they've gotten more aggressive in the last few months, almost like it's their last effort. You know what I mean? Because
and then CASA, the case, I don't know. Different people say it different ways. Yeah, they have about the same amount of time.
Well, that's going to be interesting. So basically, it's going to get really interesting within the next 2 years then.
We don't got to wait that long. I think we're going to have this thing wrapped up and tussled out before that. Don't you feel like that's the direction we're heading? Like we're taking control of this thing?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I think they're not telling us any longer how long this is going to take. We're going to tell them what we want. I mean, because this is what Donald Trump has done. Yes. Donald Trump has done his part. He has given this country back to the people. We are the ones now that, like, everybody's sitting around and waiting. What are you waiting for? Donald Trump's waiting for us to take back over our roles of what we're supposed to be as we the people. Like I'm convinced that's what, like he's like, guys, I give you your country back. Now what are you going to do with it? And we've got to act. We've got to, it's not always going to be handed out to us. And I think that this is a great way to show, and I truly believe that when we take down, there's no better time for this to happen, what Donald Trump is doing, because when we take down CPS, it's going to take down our economy almost, because so many states depend on this money. So many people depend on this money. Everybody depends on this money. This is trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. I mean, this is I bet you it's astronomical amount of money that we don't even have a clue about as of this point. Like we're just going by what they're saying. And I bet you, like when was the last time you saw a state say that their budget was screwed up? I mean, honestly, think about it. You go back 10 years, states are always like, these states are in trouble, they're upside down, they got a deficit and all this shit. They don't have that anymore, but you see a steady increase of children being taken from homes and adopted out in their system. And then if you're going to sit there and tell me that they're not getting incentivized to adopt or take these children from home, you're a goddamn stupid idiot. Because look at these states. Want to watch a budget balance? They need $4 million. 1, 2, 3, 4 more kids. Let's just take those, and there's our $4 million. I mean, it's that simple, especially when the Fed's giving you 4-to-1, 5-to-1 numbers, like in all of these bills. People don't understand that. They don't look into it. They don't care. I don't know why, but they don't. And they're not, they just don't use their head. But our time is now. Like, this is us time to use this gift that Trump has given us.
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
That's just my opinion. Hey, John has
Data Republican will tell you how much grant money they get or they've gotten.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot too. I see. What's funny is I can remember when you showed Connie that day on the show. Connie had no idea about that. Man, she uses it all the time. If you go to the Family Forward Project and you check out her stuff, she's always using, like, looking up all the stuff. She's like into that stuff. Awesome. That's like such a great tool for a great person. Like, she uses the hell out of that. And who knows if she would have ever found that if you didn't introduce that to her. Because a lot of people don't even talk about that. But I mean, that's awesome. And it's just cool that she's just used it. John says, Sylvia Beachy, can you check this in your own time after this show? Khazarian Mafia, the God Eaters, aka the Cabal, Chuck Swindoll Jr., this history. Have you seen The Fall of the Cabal, or have you seen that series?
Oh, yeah. So, what's funny? When I was a caseworker, I was trying to figure out what was going on. And this was right when COVID hit. I think the Cabal came out. Was that like right when COVID hit? Or it was like
Yeah, when
early?
they started, because that's what like drove it, because of all I mean, the Cabal's been going on for a long time. I mean,
Right.
that's the people that
But
control the
that's
world.
when
But yeah, that documentary that you're talking about, that he's
yes.
probably, yeah. I just started watching it the other day.
Oh my God. So that's when I saw it. So I was trying to figure out what was going on in the foster system because I was getting retaliated against. You know a little bit about my story.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was trying to figure it out. And I couldn't figure it out because I was like, why, like, I'm doing a good job. Like I'm getting the group home investigated. Like, why are they mad at me? Like, I was proud of that. Like, what's going on? So
Mhm.
I came across the fall of Cabal, and it was like light bulbs. It was like,
Right.
whole crap, this is what's going on, y'all.
Mhm.
I started making notes. Like, it was like everything started coming back to me while I was in the foster care, right? So I just start typing. I just start writing. I wrote over 100 pages everything. I mean, I put it out like runaways. This happened. Because I was seeing all this stuff going on with the kids that were coming in. They were sexually abused. They were sex trafficked. They
Mhm.
were on all this medication. It was psychotropic the medication that they were on was insane. And it made them aggressive. It made them suicidal. And I'm telling the kids, don't take it, like, refuse it, so they were getting mad because I was telling the kids not to take the medicine.
That's
so,
awesome.
so like, they were just like, and I was like, why do they hate me? Like, what's wrong with them? And it was because I was just like, and they'd call me and be like, did you tell that so-and-so not to take their medicine? Well, yeah, they shouldn't be
Right,
taking.
right. That's right. High five, guys. Right. And there was like, Sylvia. Oh,
I'm like complete
it's got
opposite.
it. That we never really talk about that, about your position there, but that had to have been tough when you were really there for the good of your intentions were right on. So, like,
Yeah.
to be in like the the center of this demon, and to be like in their workforce, that had to have been just like, how long did it take you to realize that you were the outcast and it wasn't them?
4 years.
4 years.
That's how bad the gaslighting is.
Mm.
Because they literally look you in the face and they're like, yeah, you're right. That shouldn't happen. Let's go have a meeting. Like, Darren, how many times did you have a caseworker that was like, yeah, you're right. That, like, and get your trust. And then
Mm-hmm.
you go into a meeting with them and they flip.
Yep. Yeah. Many,
And
many, many.
they turn it on you, and you're sitting there, you're trying to figure it out, and you're like, wait, what just happened?
What just
Like,
happened? Right.
and so that's when they was like, all right, let's, like they were like, yeah, let's have a meeting. And then I would get in these meetings and they'd be like, my supervisor would be like, I didn't say that. She's hallucinating. They said I was.
Yeah.
And so it was just so weird, so it took me 4 years to really figure out what was going on. And because I was just like, because and they win your trust and they're like your friend and they're like, it's so bizarre and so like Twilight Zone, like you're doubting yourself, you're second guessing yourself. Like I thought maybe there was a different police department that I didn't know.
We in the wrong place? Am I in the wrong building?
I mean, like I'm laying there in bed and I'm like, is there another police department? Like,
That's all 922. Is that the number I need to get in touch with them? Right.
I mean, but that's literally the gaslighting. Like, it's so many layers of evil, like legit evil.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that because Darren, remember when we did that interview with the newspaper here and they said, well, how do you know if you have a good caseworker? I said, when they quit.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
And that was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't. And
what was the straw that broke your back? What was the move that was like you just finally said, I've had enough?
It was when it was a teenager. He told me that a foster parent was drinking and driving with him in the car and with other kids in the car. The foster parent admitted it, didn't see anything wrong with it. She was just like, yeah. And the kid was removed for those type of reasons. Okay. So they tried to get me to cover it up. They told me not to call it in. They told me not to report it to the caseworker. So I did everything they told me not to do, right? But because I was working for a placement agency, when I reported it to the caseworker, she was like, oh no, he just wants to be moved. He just doesn't like that home. And so I manipulated the whole situation because I was like, all right, okay. And he had a CASA worker. The CASA worker going along with the caseworker. So I knew that when we went into a team meeting, if he said it in the team meeting in front of the whole team, they would have to move him no matter what. And so I said, when we go into this team meeting, say it in the meeting. And he goes, what if they don't believe me? I said, don't worry about it. Just say it. So he said it and they had to move him. So I got him moved.
Oh, wow.
And I reported it. I recorded our meeting, Darren.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, I got this on recording. They didn't know it. So I recorded our meeting because I was like, these people are going to set me up. They're going to set me up. Like I've got to record it for myself. It wasn't, I didn't know anything about a whistleblower. I didn't know anything about anything. I was trying to cover my own back. That recording has never been released.
Oh, I know where you should release it one day if you ever release it.
I'm waiting until I get enough followers. Do I have enough followers to release it yet?
I don't know how many followers you at.
Man, I only have like 1,000 followers on Facebook.
And we gotta get you up. We gotta get you higher than that, Sylvia.
Yeah, and I only have on X. So I was like, I've been waiting. Okay, if y'all can get me enough followers, I will release. I will release this recording.
We have anybody that's on our all right, on X you are what?
It's
on
under
X,
it's under Beachy Sylvia at Beachy Sylvia. I have like 100 and No, I have like 1,000 and like 1.6, 1.7. It's not that.
Right. What's your Facebook?
Sylvia Beachy. Like it's all my name.
All right. So everybody, go out, find Sylvia Beachy. Just type in Sylvia Beachy social whatever and start being
It says
following her.
whistleblower. It says I mean, I've got fighting child trafficking through foster care. You can't miss me. I mean, it's Sylvia Beachy fighting child trafficking. But I didn't want to release this recording until I had enough people that could hear it.
Why? I released the ones of my kids. There's 3 separate ones because it wouldn't anyway. 3 separate, but they're one interview.
Mm-hmm.
2 social workers, a supervisor, and one that is now gone. I released all of it. I sure did. And my body cam footage, I released all of it, all over my YouTube channel.
I want people to hear it.
Oh, they'll hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah. Well, between all of us, we're getting between all of us that are on this channel, we're getting right around 10,000 views a day.
Okay.
So like we're getting up there. So everybody, we need to start getting some stuff from you. We need to start putting them on our channels here. That way we can start driving your numbers up. That's what we got to do. So we'll talk about that after how we can do that. Let's do it. Let's get this numbers up here so that we can use. I don't know what Darlene is kind of talking, but she says when parents learn that you are a former DFCS, they get scared. Do you find that a true statement?
That is very true, and I can't blame them. Because I had no idea how bad social workers are. Like when I was a caseworker, I literally did not know. Like I went in thinking that I was helping people. Like I went in to help people. It was a friend. I was hanging out with a friend, and she has a son that's blind, and she found out I was a social worker, and I was like, yeah, I'll come over. She goes, oh no, I don't let social workers in my house. And I said, what? She goes, do you know how many social workers have knocked on my door because I have a disabled child? And I was like, what? And so I didn't understand. And now that I see how evil they are, I understand why parents and it has been a struggle because they have literally tainted social work. And I went in, and I know that there are other social workers that went in with the same reason I did. But those caseworkers that you have, guys, they're not social workers. They don't have a social work degree. They didn't go to social work school. They have usually a bachelor's in like business or psychology. You have to have, when you work for DFATS or DCF or DSS, whatever, you do not have to have a social work degree. It's a bachelor in any subject. Darren, do you have a bachelor's degree?
I do not. I have associate's degrees out the Wuha, but I don't have enough collected
I
to.
mean, anybody that has a bachelor's degree, you can go get a job at DFATS. That's it. I went to social work school because I wanted to help. I had and nobody's heard this story, I don't think, but I had an ex-husband. I was right when I went into social work. I was married to an addict. I went through a lot of stuff, and I wanted to help people. That's why I went. But the majority of them, they don't have a social work degree. And
That's a requirement, though, is it not, for licensing? Is to have a social worker? Oh, right. Okay.
So if you go on to the NASW, National Association of Social Workers, You can find out if your caseworker is a social worker. I've only
Mhm.
found one that was a social worker. And you know whose case that was?
Chrissy?
Chris's.
Yeah.
Steven. She
Mhm.
was a social worker, a licensed social worker.
Wow.
Yeah, I ran all 9 of mine through their system, and all 9 of them were not social workers.
They're not.
What is that? What is that? What's that site? The NA.
It's
It's the National Social Workers Network Associates, something to that effect. It ain't hard to find.
yeah, it's NASW. NASW.
NASW.
Mm-hmm. And you send an email with their name, and they do the work for you. Like they pull on and they're like, sorry, they're not in our system. They're I've only
Yeah, I ran 9 of them. I emailed them all their names. Not one of them was associated with them. And that's one of the laws that I want changed here. If you're going to be a social worker, you have to be registered with them.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you should be a social worker, right? Like that should be like, wouldn't you think? Now, isn't there rules and laws and things that go about that? That like, if you're not a licensed social worker, you can't file a TPR, for instance, or you can't, there's certain things that you can't do. No, like, if you're not
They
a
don't
licensed social worker.
law. They don't follow the law. Violate
Wow.
the law. So
I know that they don't follow the law. I'm well aware, right? But I mean, if there was a checks and balances to be followed, um, like for instance, I love bringing this one up, and I just let me see here. Um, so this is the Child Protective Investigation from the state of Maine. Oh yeah, there he is, Mr. Obsidian's in the house. He's throwing up some USC codes. So this cracks me up right here. This is one of my favorite things right here. Now this is from the oversight committee. So these are the ones that make the laws, make the rules, or make the whatever the hell they are you want to call them for the states. So it says here, neglect. Caregiver not meeting basic needs has refused assistance, not protecting child from physical, emotional, or sexual harm by others. Truancy of children ages 7 through grade 6. Caregiver absence or abandonment, or involving child in criminal activity that involves dangerous or serious injury. What child abuse and neglect is not. Some situations may indicate that a family or a child needs community services or support, but do not meet the definition of child abuse or neglect. Examples include living in poverty, including lack of food, clothing, or shelter that is not injurious to the child. Accidental injuries, even if regular and recurring. Parental or prenatal substance abuse. Physical or mental impairment of the parent, including substance use, if it has little or no impact on the child. Isolated incidents of domestic violence when the child was not present. Physical discipline like spanking as long as it does not cause bodily injury. So the overseers, and all of them investigators, and everybody says that those are not neglect or abuse, but how many people out here are probably TPR'd because of one of those reasons?
99%.
absolutely.
So yeah, they don't listen and they don't follow the law. You're absolutely right. In order to even follow the people that do the oversight on them, like if these guys can't even get control of them, right? Like this is the people that have been selected to oversee these people, and if they can't get a handle on them, then the whole thing needs to be just burnt down.
Yep.
And that's where I think that this needs to really go. Is I think it's time to burn this down. We saw a video yesterday that I was amazed because the guy didn't look like he was going to be in favor of how the system should be. I'm going to be perfectly honest. That's me stereotyping, but I'm sorry I did. And this guy jumped into the foster care system, foot first, and wanted to figure out what's wrong with CPS and all of this stuff. And he hit the nail on the head. Like this guy saw it as it was. He called it as it was. He pointed out the problems. It was a really great. It was a great show. I forget the gentleman's name that did it, but it was great. He showed the numbers, talking about like the parent. Their children shouldn't be taken from these homes. Number one, like it's got to be an extreme situation to even take the children from the home, because studies prove now that removing the child from the home is pretty much ruining their lives.
Yeah.
You know,
The
which leads you to
website is called, I'm sorry, go ahead.
finish, please.
The website is called Stand Together.
Stand
That
together.
was the one.
Mhm.
So check that out, because that was really awesome. Um, and it's like this. I always comment on this. The Bible says, "Don't learn from the book. Look to the animals. They'll teach you everything you need to know." You go try and take a bear cub, or go try to take a lion's cub, or go try to take, obviously not a chickadee, but even a chickadee will peck you till they die if you go ahead and try to take one of their eggs. We're the only species that doesn't come after you and destroy you and annihilate you for touching and taking our kids. We're the only one.
There's
Wow.
another one. It's called National Angels. They deal with foster kids, period. They help them.
Yes.
And then the last one is Care Portal, Portal. There's 3.
Sure,
Yeah.
portal. Can you list them again, Tiff, one more time? Do you mind?
Yep. It's Stand Together,
Yep.
National Angels, and Care Portal, Portal. Darren, I sent you all the information. All you have to do is check your email. I sent it last night.
Yeah, but this is how I regurgitate things in my head. I have pages and
Okay.
books and books and books. I have to write the stuff, and then I get it to click in my skull. That thing that I have. But yeah, that's good.
Froze.
Sylvia, what else you got for us before we got to wrap this thing up? She's freezed. Or did I put her on the spot?
Oops. Hey guys, can you hear me?
We can
Yeah.
hear you, yeah. Oh shoot! Sorry, I didn't even show you the cartoon yet. Then I gotta play your song, but I'll play your song on that. You're there, Sylvia. We can hear you. You're moving around.
We can hear you.
You're there.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes,
I think
ma'am.
Yeah.
I'm
You're there.
frozen.
No, you're looking fine. All systems are go for us.
Oh man.
It's all right. Just refresh. Come back. Come on back.
They're trying to shut us down.
You know what's funny is sometimes you'll be hearing you like, "Hey, I can hear you!" Like you're yelling louder, like she can hear us. Because it's different, You ever find yourself doing that? Here she comes. Back in it. Ooh. All right.
Hey.
Hello, Sylvia.
We could hear
Sorry.
you.
Oh, I had a call come in and I went like trying to make it and it like froze everything. I had to like go out and then come back in. So I kind of lost you.
Here's the thing right here. Here's your picture, Sylvia. Let me take us down out of here so that you can see us. I forgot you couldn't hear us. So what did you think? What did you think of the picture?
I like the picture, but I couldn't hear what y'all were saying.
Nothing.
Right. That's what I was saying. Was you like the picture, right?
I do like that picture. Yeah, that's
all right.
that's.
So I'll make sure I send that to you too. But yeah.
Sylvia, why don't you hook your stuff up with ours? So when you go live, we go live. When we go live, you go live.
Right,
Okay.
and drive
I don't know how to do that.
Darren does. Don't worry, Darren does.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll get you in touch with Gino, and then because he knows how to do that, and then That way y'all can figure out how to do that, and then we can, yeah, because that's the thing, is we need to get more vocal, we need to be louder, we need to come together. It's all about uniting. They do not want us to unite. They don't.
No, they sure don't.
Mm.
Oh, and let me tell you what my other joke is. I
Oh
ask
boy, here we
parents,
go.
how do you know when a CPS worker is lying to you?
When
And
they
they
talk,
can't answer me. Say when their lips are moving. That's how you know.
yep, that's it. When they're
That's a great
lying,
one.
I mean, when they're talking.
Yeah, their lips are moving, they're lying. But yeah. So guys, it's our weekend. So yeah, this was
We'll
great.
be back
Thank
Sunday though. At 1,
you.
we're going live
That's
for the
right.
rally.
Yep,
Oh,
we are.
awesome. Okay,
Yes, so don't forget, Sylvia, write it down. And
Sunday.
we'll be in touch.
Send
Do you
me
want to
some
hang out
music.
after for a second to shoot the breeze real quick for a couple of seconds
Yeah.
Yeah.
with us?
Yeah,
All
let's
right,
do
cool.
that.
Let's do that. All right. All right, everybody. Have a good
This is
weekend, and we'll
my
see you all on Sunday
calling,
for the
this
rally.
is God's test. I wonder why he chose this road for me. It's hard to think this is my destiny, but God, you the creator, he surely knows. So please explain the journey, let's go. You must have faith, that's all. God will not let you fall, for in the end there's a lesson. So keep the faith, keep on pressing. I think about you 100 times a day. It's no way to keep the pain away. I'm so scared of forgetting your smile, so I look at pictures of my child. It breaks my heart we lost her so young. We missed all the tender times, can't be redone. Please God, stop the pain, this is no fun. I know that God has the plan. I don't understand who I am. I do know I have the faith to pray to God from any place. Please God, make this pain end. It's a nightmare that should have never been. My faith in you is guiding my way. Excuse me, God, I have to say, give me back my baby, I'm not playing around. She's a piece of my life. I'll do anything for you now.